Well, Africans are torn between taking sides, sitting on the fence, and coming up and saying something that brings a little more context to this dispute. And countries like South Africa and even the African Union itself has called on both parties to find amicable ways of resolving this and bring up the fact that the roots of this conflict lie in the denial of Palestinian rights and so on. But there are countries like Ghana and Kenya who are on the record as being totally against Hamas. In this case, they've called it what it is, which is a terrorist attack. Personally, I believe that Africans have to be careful how they approach this issue, because we cannot condone terrorism. And make no mistake about it, this is a terrorist attack. We don't want to live in a world where people use force and terrorism to resolve issues, no matter how legitimate their grievances may be. So I think that we want to speak with one voice and say that this is something that has no place in the international order that we say we want.
Do you see that African countries may be concerned about what then, after the conflict or this particular war is over, how do they deal with the countries around the region and also the Western countries?
Yes, because the United States and the West have taken sides in this conflict. Africans themselves have their own complicated relationship with the Israelis. There are a lot of Africans in Israel now, and a lot of African countries have diplomatic relations with Israel itself. But we also have a legacy of resisting colonialism, and for some African countries, that's always at the back of their minds. And also remember that there are a bunch of African states that are, particularly our brothers and sisters in North Africa, who are members of the Arab League, and they don't have the kind of relationship with the Israelis as that some sub-Saharan African countries do have. And that complicates the continent's effort to have a common position when it comes to diplomatic relations with Israel. But as I said, this is a humanitarian crisis, and we have to be very, very clear in our minds. There is no moral equivalency here. Terrorism is wrong no matter who does it, but at the same time we also have to make sure that there is no humanitarian crisis that follows Israeli action in Gaza, and I hope that the African Union is strong in that effort. South Africa is offering to do mediation. I don't know if anybody's going to take them up on that, but we cannot just criticize. We have to come up with solutions as well.